Okay, let's do a VOD review. Diamond, PC, and Jolly Rat time. So we have Diamond and we have PC. All right, let's see what we got. All the way from the start. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, let's see what the comps are. All you know right now is that you are Sombra, you have a Soldier, you have a Mercy, Ana, and a Ramatra. So you got to think about, what does your team want? Positioning, picks, what is the win condition, and what are your teammates trying to do before they win the fight to win the fight? For Sojourn charges up a railgun so she can get a rail shot off. Mercy wants to be sure to damage with the Sojourn, so you can't, like, for example, in this case, you don't want the Mercy to heal you while the Sojourn is doing the rail shot. So your job right now, before you get EMP, is to make it so that either the enemy team is just like, a turtle flipped upside down and like the belly up, and they can just dead. Or you need to make it so that they don't even want to be there in the first place, so that your team has more time and space to do the things they need to do to be able to win the fight, instead of just winning the fight outright. There's an extra layer now that Sombra's not that good. You need to really, you cannot afford to fuck up. Very good warm-up routine. Keep the hand active at all times. Good. Very big brain. Good job, good job, good job. Now, first mistake that you made right here, right? First mistake. Let me just open up Paint real quick here for you. First mistake that you already made is, Sombra right here equals lose, right? And you gotta understand, right? Right now, I gotta assume that you don't know this. This is very high-tech stuff. So generally speaking, you would swap, right? And this was just like an obligatory joke that I had to make, because that is obligatory and I'm very funny. So I made the joke, and now we can move on with life, because we all know everyone's gonna make that joke in the comments. So, now why would you not go for a hack? What are you waiting for? What are you going for? You don't have a plan. Right now, you are in dead waters. You have no plan. You don't know what to do. They're doing something that not everybody always is doing. You expect there to be a fight at the health pack, but your brain isn't automatically switching. The thing about Sombra is the gameplay is not based in mechanics, it's based in strategy. And if you cannot update your strategy whenever other people do other things, then you are going to have a bad time. Because right now, first glance, you walk up here, there's nothing. You don't hear footsteps, there's no shooting, there's no spam. You throw your translocator across, you wanted to go on the high ground, I get. You walked over here and you saw them. You saw them there. At that point, take the jump pad. You have high ground. They just gave it to you. They just gave it to you. They didn't contest it whatsoever. Like, just take the jump pad. Take it. It's yours. And then you can focus on the Ramatra in your team that's trying to win a fight here. Right? Look at this. This is what your team is doing. They're right here. And you're here. You sure are here. You're on the map. But you're not taking advantage of what they're giving you. You're not updating your strategy with what is presented. You're just walking in circles. You let the Symmetra set up here. And your other DPS is dead. And now you have to go. Hacking there would have been death? No, you don't want to hack. You wanted to go for the Reinhardt now. You could have been on the round the entire time. It's working. This is good. See, you're at the you are having an impact now. Now this impact could have been had this entire time right here, from this angle. The Reinhardt was playing over there. You could have been here. Your Ramatra could have been playing over there, and then you could have been spam hacking the Reinhardt, and they wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. You could have won that way, but now eventually you did win. What you did after that is good. You regrouped, you pushed the front line, and you took the opportunities that were presented. Good. After that, good. First thing you did was bad. Second thing you did was good. That compensated for the first thing. So good. Good job. This was good. Okay. That's a good high-tempo translocator, but you're waiting for the cast to walk in. Okay, you realize that your teammates are ulting. That's good. So then you go in. Good job. Now, you almost have your ultimate. Now you need to play for your ultimate. Make sure you get your ultimate here. If you don't do this, right now you're setting up to play for a hack. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. What if they walk up behind you, dude? I'm so scared. Okay. Oh, Okay, they didn't even... Cool. Okay, so the reason I said you were playing for a hack was you had a translocator set up in a way too safe spot. Not because of where you were standing, but you didn't break your translocator. Right here, what I would have done is I would have had a translocator right here. Right here. Line of sight of the supports immediately being able to just walk right in. So you translocate to here, right? You translocate over here. And at that point, the amount of time it takes to walk back around, the fight is over. As soon as you translocate out, you are dead. You are essentially dead. No hacks, no damage, no value, no bitches, no hoes, no friends, no social life, right? Dunzo. You translocating out should have been in a better spot. Translocating out is a good thing, just where you were was a bad thing. See, and then you translocate out, and then the entire time from here on out till the end of the fight, you are doing nothing. No value. Your teammates are there at the front line, like an army in Vietnam. They are shooting, brrr, there's a war happening, and now you're going to the health pack. You're playing really passive. Oh, you're back on the translocator. Now I don't have an actual timer. I really should have had a timer here, but try to internally time as soon as you translocate. How long does it take before you either hack or do your first bullet of damage? Try to time that in your head and compress that as small as possible. Just like chop off milliseconds, milliseconds, milliseconds. If you put your translocator here, how long is it going to take before you get back in the fight? If you put it over there, how long is that going to take? If you put it here, there, that, you gotta try and test everything, every possibility, and then you eventually find what the most efficient strategy is. Because for Sombra, it's not necessarily, you play Sombra, and when you play Sombra, you can, you know, health back run, you could Sombra 76, as I like to call it. You just play right next to your tank and you shoot the other team's tank and you go like that. You could play, just go all the way in the back line and you just stay in the back line. Now, the problem with Sombra, all three of these options are all good. They're all okay. They're not bad. The chance of winning a fight here, let's just be extreme about it, 0%. 0%. The chance to winning a fight if you do health pack runs, right? You put a translocator on the health pack, you teleport in, or you walk in, teleport back to the health pack, walk back in, teleport to the health pack. Let's say the chance of winning is 30%. 30%. The chance of winning a Sombra 76 playstyle, if they have a Reinhardt, chance could be 40%, or they maybe like have a Roadhog, could be 20%, right? There's a risk value assessment. Or you can play all the way in the back line, and at that point, you have to go for the supports. This is high risk, high reward. I'd say either 10%, or you pretty much win almost every fight, so let's give that 60%. Now, all of these options are good. All of these options can work, and that is the problem. What you need to assess, what you need to think about, what you need to process and understand is which one you use at which point in what game. It's swapping between all the different playstyles that is the thing that makes a Sombra good. Not just committing to one playstyle, doing that well, and just rinse and repeating. Fundamentally, no playstyle on Sombra really is that bad. Everything is fine, but there's only one best option. Your job is to figure out what that best option is. That is how you play Sombra. So, continue here. Oh no. Oh no. I saw your life flash before your eyes as soon as you threw that translocator. Uh-oh. Okay, so your team is using ults. That was a good attempt to hack. This is Sombra 76. Look, you're following your tank. Your tank is ascending. Now break your translocator. Break it. Break it. Break it. Break it. Do not keep it up. It is way too far away. If you get pressured out, you will translocate to the other side of the goddamn galaxy. Break it. And put it break it. Jolly, you better break it right here. You better break your Jolly, my man. Oh no. Start a timer. Look. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it took about 10 to 11 seconds before you actually did a value again. So you had a full 10 seconds where you were just dead. You might as well have just died when you started going for the cast. And now, because your team got pressured, there was no support left for you to heal, and then you just died. This might feel like it's a support problem, but this was entirely on you. Don't go frontline. Oh, you have EMP actually. They don't, yeah, no, this is good. Good, good. No, that's just not good because your Sojourn got picked. But that's, I guess you couldn't really predict that. That sucks. Okay. No, don't put it there. Don't put it there. Your team is building up momentum. You need to snowball. Your team is building up momentum. Your team wants to go in. Break your Translocator. Go for a high ground. Do not put your Translocator away. You need momentum. You need to help the momentum. You need to, like, coddle that fucking snowball as it rolls down the cliff. See, now... 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds again. And now the enemy team used their ultimates, and now you're dead. You're dead, zo. Dunzo. You could have tried going for an off angle. In this scenario, you dying last is a bad thing. Dying last, normally, for normal support or normal characters in the game, is a good thing. But Sombra, my general rule of thumb, is die second to last. If you're either don't die at all, or die second to last. Because now, you're playing way too passively, and when your team is trying to push in, you are not amplifying the push, you are only minimizing the enemy team's push. That is kind of how you're playing it. If you are going, you need to go. Because you can only have one EMP every, like, 2 minutes. And you need to win as many fights as you can without EMP. So that when you use EMP, you are countering as much as possible. Okay. Cast rolls up. You got... Oh. Nice job baiting out the... Oh, damn. That sucks. I was staying for touch. Yeah, but you should have just died. Honestly. If you played more aggressively and you actually got a kill, the reason why you wouldn't have been able to win that first fight as you walked in would not have existed because you got the guy that would turn the fight around. If you killed the Kiriko because you forced or you ran with your Ramatra, if you got the kill on the Kiriko, then the Kiriko would never have been able to cleanse and that Ramatra would never have ulted. And you could have won the fight earlier. Because you're in Diamond, the fight lasted long enough for your rest of your team to come back and you could have stalled it out. But in higher ranks, stalling is very difficult. Very difficult. Stalling enough for a full respawn cycle to happen, so if someone dies, respawns, walks back, that does not really happen. You cannot rely on that. In Diamond, it might have worked out, but if you rank up, it's only going to get harder, so you gotta strike out the bad habits while you can. But you won the fight, so that's good. So if it worked out, but I cannot promise that to be working out every time you do it. Oh, that's a good... Okay, good hack target. Your team knows where... Oh, okay. So you have to use your Translocator to get in, to peel back for your own team. But see, look, now you have no Translocator out. This is good. And you're walking with your Ramatra. Ooh. Translocator. Put your Translocator back. Back. Put it around the corner. Back. Translocator! Oh, you're gonna throw your Translocator at him, aren't you? Oh, you're gonna throw it at him, aren't you? Oh, oh no! No! Oh, I know that feeling so well. Oh no, Jolly! Oh man! Happens to the best of us. Oh man! Oh, that was beautiful. Oh. All right. Okay. Now. Okay, you're. Oh. They swapped off Mercy to Kiriko, so now they have a definite counter for your hacks. They use Cleanse there. Cast this to your left. Okay. What is this? What is your Translocator? What is this? Aside to just I don't want to be where I was. What is this Translocator? Mercy down. Now why would you not put it here? Or here? Or nah, probably not here if they pushed up. Why all the way here? Because you're gonna have to walk back all of that. It might as well have been in spawn. You gotta work on minimizing the amount of downtime you have between the moments where you actually try to have impact. Cause like, okay, you know what? I'm pulling out pain again. We're doing this one more time. So, okay, let's draw a timeline. Okay, you have a timeline. It goes from here. We're gonna assume downtime to also be when you're dead. We're gonna draw 2 timelines here. Now, this timeline right here is gonna be the timeline for people that they just die. They just die, LeMayo. They just die. They just die. The bottom people, they put their translocator, they just put it away. This is what you're doing. This is what we're witnessing you do. You put your translocator just anywhere, as long as there's nobody fighting there, there goes my translocator. That's where you put it. And the amount of time you spend just walking back would be, we're just gonna assume that's the red line. So you're here, you shoot a bit, you do a little bit of stuff, a little bit of hacking, and then, oops, you translocate out. And then what we've witnessed is about 10 seconds of downtime. This is all downtime. Put that here. And then you do the same thing. And then you die again. Or you don't die, you just translocate out again. And then you wait a bit, and then you're back in the fight. And then you do stuff again, right? This is kind of how your timeline looks. You're in and out very often. But if your playstyle is just dying, it kind of looks like this. You go like this, and then for like a full point and a half more, you have more value, but you're also down more. So that's the trade-off, right? You're down longer, and then you come back right here, and then you're back in the fight for the entirety of the rest of the time. So you're in and out less, but when you are there, you're longer, and you kind of build up more value and momentum. Now, the problem is, which one resembles the rest of your team? That is the big problem. If you play like this timeline, your teammates are going to be active in this, let's say in this segment, and then in this segment, and then they wouldn't be here for this segment, and let's say in this segment because, you know, they all died. And eventually you start desyncing with your team. I know this is not entirely accurate, but like the concept still matters. Eventually you start desyncing more and more, until the parts where you are active, your team is not active. And then you start mismatching. And then you just kind of miss every opportunity. Everything that your team gives you, you cannot take advantage of, and vice versa. And when it comes to this play style, you will pretty much always be in sync with your team. If you're dead, they're dead. If they're dead, you're dead. And in that way, you can maximize everything you give. I'm not very good at drawing and doing things to scale, but you get the point. You get the point. Overall, the top one naturally puts you in sync with your team. Dying is not always a bad thing. It's just when it happens too much, that can be a bad thing. But you get my point, I think, hopefully. That's a giga pick. Yeah! Break your translocator, put it aggressively. Put your translocator on the high ground. They only have a Hanzo to contest you. Break your translocator! Break it! Break it! Oh, and you put it back! See? And now you're gone. Your team is still fighting and you're gone. The moment you translocated out, you provided nothing for the rest of the entire fight. Nothing. Not a single ounce of anything. You literally would better off be dead. Because when you're dead, you could have still been focused. If you're out, they're not even trying to shoot you. You know? It was just a habit. I know, but I'm pointing out how impactful this could be. Of tossing it out. It's a good habit to have to just always toss a translocator, as long as you also have the habit of breaking it. You need to break, if you place your translocator everywhere, you need to also know that you can break it everywhere. And that's why I do it. I have a translocator as a false safe, but I know that I have to break it. So now, you don't have EMP. What you need to do now is bait the enemy team's abilities, so that when they go in, they have cooldown. They don't have cooldowns. They don't have abilities. So, like, you should have tried hacking the Ana earlier. They're gonna throw a cleanse out. They're... You know, or not. You know, whatever, or not. Go for supports, go for supports. Don't go for tanks. They have two Oh. Okay, target priority is also a thing. You don't focus tanks if there's two supports. That's kind of period. If it's only two supports and a tank, maybe. But if you focus on shooting the tank is doing their job. You are doing exactly what the tank wants you to do, and that's giving the enemy team's DPS the space that they want to have. This worked out because your tank is a Giga Gamer. Kudos to Exo Hurricane. Kudos to that guy. He's doing a great job. But you are not capitalizing on what's being given. You are in that fight. You played into what they wanted you to do. Okay. Ooh, oh. Okay, so now you're dead. You were the first pick. That's not good. So I'm gonna assume you lose this fight because they're using ultimates, right? Ooh, doinky, doinky right there. Okay, that's fine. This fine. What happened there did not matter. All right, whether you lived or died, it did not matter. You died. You went down with the ship. You got as much ult charge as possible. That's good. You might have died, but the way you died was a good way, so that's okay. Okay, all right, you know what? Yo, maybe you just suck. You know, that's just, like, fundamentally, maybe, like, that's just entirely on you, right? That's, like, that was entirely your fault, and what you should have done is not die there, and that's, like, that's all you had to do. Really not that hard. Should stop standing with the tank? No. Oh, actually, this is I'm glad you pointed this out. This is entirely Overwatch 2. Standing with the tank is good. Sombra's main value in Overwatch 2 is either you get that sneaky pick off or you make it so the enemy team is worse. Pretty much. When you hack them, they will position away, and no other DPS in the game has that. You know, the Widowmaker has that with sidelines, but that's like with the threat of death. With Sombra, it's not with the threat of death, it's with hack. You could hack, you could follow them, you can keep hacking them, you can keep pushing them away. You are making the enemy team worse, and by doing so, your team in relative strength, more stronger. If you run with your tank, the most important part of the enemy team's positional setup, depending on their tank, if they have like a frontline tank, will become worse because you are running with your tank. Your tank is 1.0x in strength, their tank is 0.85x in strength because you are next to your tank. You are doing your job if you stand with your tank. So but again, as I said earlier, the problem with Sombra is that every playstyle is good, but there's only one best answer, and it's your job to find out what that best answer is. We've seen with Jolly earlier in this game, when he is with his tank and he is pushing in, he's doing that phenomenally well. He is clearing the pavement. He's like, when you know, like that game in the Olympics where you like have that brush and the ice rink, you just that's kind of what Sombra does. That's what Sombra does for her tank. You gotta clean that road as that little puck goes across, and that's how you do it. Playing Sombra is very comparable to curling when you're playing Sombra 76. Oh, chat, actually, I want to point out, chat, look, chat, I got a new milk jug. I got a new one. The old one, the one that's like a year and a half old is under my sink, and it's like all disgusting, and this one is nice and clean. Only the fresh microplastics. Let's go. Ooh, that's risky. Oh, if you get the cast. If you get the cast. Oh! Oh! And dodge. Oh my. Oh. Alright, anyway. And I think you win with this then. Yeah, that's the end of the VOD. Congratulations, GG. One thing that I would like to mention in the vacuum of everything, this here. Another timeline. Let's make another timeline. So, imagine a health pack. This is a health pack. We're gonna draw a little plus icon. I suck at drawing. Don't worry about it. Connect that so I can fill it in. Boop. All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about health packs here. So we have a health pack, and you want to hack that health pack. You want to put a chance on the health pack. Yada 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 yada. Let me tell you why hacking a health pack is not a good idea 24/7. A health pack's, let's assume a natural health pack's duration is up until here. Right? This is doesn't matter if it's a mega or a mini. This is the normal length duration of a normal health pack. If you hack it, it respawns faster. This is the respawn, sorry, not duration. This is a normal health pack duration. This is the duration. And if you hack a health pack, it gets cut in half. So this is where hack. This is hack. So you hack a health pack and it just respawns faster, right? But the thing is, you don't see me hack a health pack very often, because if you grab a health pack here, it doesn't matter if you do or don't hack a health pack, that health pack would have been back anyway, right? So if you died here, 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 it doesn't matter where you died on this side of the timeline, Or where you grab it, sorry, not died. If you try to grab a health pack anywhere on this side of the timeline, it would have been there whether you hacked it or not, right? If you grab the same health pack right here, at these intervals, you are showing me indirectly that your playstyle is bad. So it's kind of a lose-lose scenario on hack. Because if you actually consistently use the health pack that you hacked, that means you are out of the fight too often. One of these tells me that there's 10 seconds of downtime after that, 10 seconds after that you spend going back into the fight. And then you immediately dip out to grab it again. So you wait out this duration, doot, you grab it, and then you wait out this duration, then you grab it, doot, right? What you're telling me indirectly is that you are out of the fight way too often for just the not good enough reasons. What ends up happening is I just don't hack health packs. I grab it once, and then the next time I grab it is like right over here. So really the only time I actually hack a health pack is, let's just do broad strokes. I'm probably not going to spitball all of the scenarios, but one, right at the start of a game, because I know I'm going to grab the health pack and then immediately walk out again. I know I'm going to do that. And two, if there's an actual fight happening on that health pack, or if there's going to be a fight just in like half a second from then. Those are really the only times. Otherwise, I just don't hack a health pack. It takes time. It puts it on cooldown. Even though it's only 4-second cooldown, it puts it on a cooldown. So, you know, what if, right? You're limiting yourself that way for really no real good reason. And at that point, I rarely actually hack health packs. I just play and I keep playing because I don't grab health packs really that often. I use my supports. These X's are replaced with supports in your team. That's how I play Sombra. Whether this means, you know, you could entirely just go, yeah, you know, you could do that for sure. But this is how I play it. And if you choose to take that as a lesson for it to help you, good for you. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.